Fast fashion has taken the world by storm. It's everywhere we look, from the bustling streets of major cities to the runways showcasing the latest trends. This phenomenon has become an integral part of our daily lives. This global industry churns out trendy clothing at breakneck speeds, driven by a relentless demand for the newest styles. Factories operate around the clock, producing vast quantities of garments in record time. It offers us the latest styles at incredibly low prices, making fashion accessible to everyone. The allure of affordable, stylish clothing is hard to resist, drawing in consumers from all walks of life. But behind the allure of affordability lies a dark side. The true cost of fast fashion is often hidden from view, masked by the glitz and glamour of the industry. This essay delves into the hidden costs of fast fashion, revealing the impact on both human lives and the environment. We will uncover the stories that are often left untold. We will explore its detrimental effects on people and the planet. From pollution to poor working conditions, the consequences are far-reaching and severe. Fast fashion thrives on our desire for newness. The industry constantly feeds us with fresh designs, encouraging us to keep buying more. It encourages a culture of disposability, where clothes are worn a few times and then discarded. This throwaway mentality has significant environmental repercussions. We buy more clothes than ever before, filling our wardrobes with items that we may only wear once or twice. The cycle of consumption is endless. We discard them just as quickly, contributing to the growing problem of textile waste. The sheer volume of discarded clothing is staggering. This cycle of consumption has devastating consequences. Landfills overflow with discarded garments, and the environmental toll is immense. It's time to unveil the truth behind fast fashion. We need to look beyond the price tags and understand the real cost of our clothing choices. We must understand the impact of our choices. By becoming more conscious consumers, we can make a difference and help mitigate the negative effects of fast fashion. Major brands dominate the fast fashion landscape, shaping our shopping habits and influencing global fashion trends. Zara, H&M, and Forever 21 are just a few examples of these influential giants. These companies have built empires on rapid production and low prices, creating a cycle of constant consumption. They entice us with constant streams of new styles, making it hard to resist the latest trends. Their business model relies on high sales volumes, encouraging frequent purchases. They prioritize quantity over quality, leading to garments that wear out quickly. These brands often outsource their manufacturing to cut costs. They contract factories in developing countries where labor is cheaper. These factories operate in a system with little transparency, making it hard to track working conditions. Workers face immense pressure to produce garments quickly and cheaply, often working long hours. This often comes at a high cost. Workers endure exploitative conditions with little regard for their well-being. The environment suffers from pollution and waste, as the fast fashion industry generates massive amounts of textile waste and pollution. Fast fashion operates on a unique business model that has revolutionized the clothing industry. It prioritizes speed and affordability above all else, allowing consumers to access the latest trends quickly and cheaply. Rapid production cycles are a key characteristic, enabling brands to keep up with the ever-changing fashion landscape. These companies can take a garment from design to store shelves in a matter of weeks, sometimes even days. They achieve this through efficient supply chains and low-cost manufacturing processes that streamline every step. Low prices are another hallmark of fast fashion, making it accessible to a wide range of consumers. They use cheap materials and mass production techniques to keep costs down. This allows them to offer clothing at incredibly low prices, often undercutting traditional retailers. Fast fashion brands also thrive on trend chasing, constantly monitoring the latest styles. They constantly introduce new styles to entice consumers, ensuring there's always something new to buy. This rapid turnover of trends fuels a culture of disposability, where clothes are quickly discarded for the next big thing. The true cost of fast fashion is often hidden from consumers. One of the darkest aspects is the exploitation within its supply chains. Many workers in these factories face deplorable conditions. They endure low wages, long hours, and unsafe working environments. Fast fashion brands often turn a blind eye to these practices. Their pursuit of profits comes at the expense of human rights. Forced labor and child labor are also pressing concerns. These vulnerable populations are particularly susceptible to exploitation. Environmental degradation, fashion's dirty footprint. Fast fashion's impact on the environment is equally alarming. The industry is a major polluter. Textile production requires vast amounts of water and energy. It releases harmful chemicals into the environment. The disposal of clothing also poses a significant problem. Fast fashion encourages a throwaway culture. Millions of tons of textiles end up in landfills each year. These garments decompose slowly and release methane. Methane is a potent greenhouse gas. Greenwashing or genuine change? Sustainability efforts in fast fashion. In recent years, there has been growing pressure on fast fashion brands to address their environmental and social impact. Some companies have responded by launching sustainability initiatives. They are using recycled materials and reducing water usage. However, it's essential to approach these efforts with a critical eye. Some critics argue that these initiatives are merely greenwashing. Greenwashing is a deceptive practice. Companies appear more environmentally friendly than they are. It is crucial to demand transparency from fast fashion brands. We must hold them accountable for their actions. The allure of affordability, why we choose fast fashion. Despite its ethical and environmental issues, fast fashion remains incredibly popular. Its affordability is a major draw for many consumers, especially young people. The low prices make it easy to stay on trend without breaking the bank. The constant influx of new styles also creates a sense of excitement. Fast fashion caters to our desire for novelty and instant gratification. It offers a quick and easy way to update our wardrobes. However, this cycle of consumption comes at a high cost. The true cost of cheap clothes. A societal perspective. The low prices of fast fashion come at a hidden cost. It's a cost that we all pay in the long run. The exploitation of workers, environmental degradation, and waste generation have far-reaching consequences. Our addiction to cheap clothes is unsustainable. It perpetuates a cycle of consumption and waste. It's essential to recognize the true cost of our fashion choices. We must consider the impact on people, the planet, and future generations. Towards ethical consumption, making conscious choices. We can make a difference. It starts with making conscious choices. We can choose to buy less clothing. We can support ethical and sustainable brands. Look for brands that prioritize fair labor practices and environmental responsibility. Consider the life cycle of your clothing. Choose durable, high-quality items. Support initiatives promoting transparency and accountability in the fashion industry. Conclusion: rethinking our relationship with fashion. Fast fashion has cast a long shadow over the fashion industry. It has come at a high cost to people and the planet. It's time to rethink our relationship with fashion. We need to move away from a culture of disposability. We must embrace a more mindful and sustainable approach. This involves buying less, choosing well, and making our clothes last longer. By becoming conscious consumers, we can demand better practices from the fashion industry. We can create a more ethical and sustainable future for all. The future of fashion is not just about trends, but transformation. Pause 2S. Sustainable fashion is paving the way for a new era. Pause 2S. Designers are innovating with eco-friendly materials and zero-waste patterns. Pause 2S. Brands are committing to ethical labor practices and transparency. Pause 2S. Consumers are making informed choices, favoring quality over quantity. Pause 2S. Together we can create a fashion industry that respects both people and the planet. Pause 2S. The journey won't be easy, but the rewards will be immense. Pause 2S. Let's embrace the future of sustainable fashion and make a lasting impact. Pause 2S, because in the end, what we wear should reflect our values. Pause 2S, and a better world is always in style. As we look to the future of sustainable fashion, it's important to remember the power and responsibility we hold as consumers. Pause 2S. Each purchase we make sends a message to the industry. Pause 2S. By choosing sustainable brands, we support ethical practices and environmental stewardship. Pause 2. Our collective buying power can drive significant change as Pause 2S. But it requires mindfulness and a commitment to align our values with our actions. Pause 2S. Together, we can create a demand for transparency, fair labor, and eco-friendly materials. Pause 2S. The choices we make today will shape the fashion landscape of tomorrow. Pause 2S. Let's use our influence wisely and push for a more sustainable and ethical fashion industry. Pause 2S, because ultimately the future of fashion is in our hands. Pause 2S, and with great power comes great responsibility. Pause 2S, let's make it count. As we transition from consumer responsibility, let's explore the cutting-edge innovations shaping the future of fashion. Pause 2S. From high-tech fabrics to 3D printing, the fashion industry is embracing technology like never before. Pause 2S. Imagine clothes that adapt to your body temperature, reducing the need for multiple layers. Pause 2S. Or garments created through zero-waste manufacturing processes, minimizing environmental impact. Pause 2S. We're also seeing the rise of digital fashion, where virtual outfits can be worn in the metaverse, reducing physical waste. Pause 2S. Brands are experimenting with biodegradable materials, ensuring that fashion no longer clogs landfills. Pause 2S. Blockchain technology is being used to track and verify the supply chain, increasing transparency and trust. Pause 2S. Innovations like these are not just futuristic concepts. They are becoming a reality, pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Pause 2S. The fashion industry is on the brink of a revolution, driven by creativity and a commitment to sustainability. Pause 2S. As consumers, we have the exciting opportunity to support these innovations and be part of this transformative journey. Pause 2S. The future of fashion is not just about what we wear, but how it's made and the impact it has on our planet. Pause 2S. Let's embrace these innovations and move towards a more sustainable, ethical, and stylish future. Pause 2S. Because the future of fashion is here and it's more innovative than ever. Pause 2S. As we dive deeper into the future of sustainable fashion, it's vital to acknowledge the crucial role that policy and regulation play in shaping this industry. Governments and international bodies are stepping up, implementing laws and guidelines to ensure ethical practices and environmental stewardship. Pause 2S. From banning hazardous chemicals in textile production to setting stringent labor standards, these regulations aim to hold brands accountable. Pause 2S. The European Union, for instance, has introduced the Circular Economy Action Plan, which mandates sustainable product design and waste reduction. Pause 2S. Meanwhile, countries like France are leading the charge with anti-waste laws, requiring companies to donate unsold goods instead of destroying them. Pause 2S. In the United States, the Fashion Act proposes transparency in supply chains, pushing brands to disclose their environmental and social impact. Pause 2S. These policies not only protect workers and the environment, but also empower consumers to make informed choices. Pause 2S. However, the effectiveness of these regulations depends on rigorous enforcement and global cooperation. Pause 2S. As the fashion industry continues to evolve, the synergy between innovation and regulation will be key to driving meaningful change. Pause 2S. By advocating for stronger policies and supporting ethical brands, we can collectively steer the fashion industry towards a more sustainable and responsible future. Pause 2S. Because true progress in fashion requires not just innovation, but also accountability and governance. Pause 2S. Pause 2. Narrator. While policies and regulations are essential, the heart of change often lies in personal stories. Pause 2S. Meet Maria, a former fast fashion consumer turned sustainable fashion advocate. Pause 2S. Maria's journey began when she discovered the harsh realities of garment workers' conditions. Pause 2S. She decided to overhaul her wardrobe, opting for second-hand and ethically produced clothing. Pause 2S. Then there's Daniel, a fashion designer who left a lucrative job at a major brand to start his own sustainable line. Pause 2S. His mission? To prove that fashion can be both stylish and responsible. Pause 2S. And let's not forget about Aisha, a student who started a campus initiative to educate her peers about the environmental impact of fast fashion. Pause 2S. These stories remind us that individual actions, no matter how small, can ignite a movement. Pause 2S. By sharing their experiences, Maria, Daniel, and Aisha inspire others to rethink their fashion choices and advocate for change. Pause 2S. Because at the end of the day, it's the collective power of our personal stories that will drive the fashion industry towards a more sustainable future. Pause 2S. Together, we can turn the tide and make fashion a force for good. Pause 2S. The impact of fast fashion extends far beyond our closets. From the bustling streets of Dhaka to the remote villages in Cambodia, the repercussions are felt worldwide. In Bangladesh, garment factories operate under harsh conditions, with workers enduring long hours for meager wages. Across the globe in Africa, rivers are contaminated with toxic dyes, affecting both wildlife and local communities. Fast fashion's demand for cheap materials drives deforestation in South America, destroying vital ecosystems. Even in developed countries, the mountains of discarded clothing in landfills are a stark reminder of our consumption habits. But it's not just the environment that suffers. Human lives are deeply affected too. Families are torn apart by the relentless pressure to produce more, faster, and cheaper. Children are often forced into labor, sacrificing their education and future for the sake of fashion. The global impact of fast fashion is a complex web of exploitation, pollution, and economic disparity. As consumers, we hold the power to demand better, not just for ourselves, but for the millions affected by this industry. It's time to recognize the true cost of our clothing and advocate for a fashion industry that respects both people and the planet. Together, we can create a global shift towards a more just and sustainable fashion future. Supporting ethical brands is a powerful way to drive change in the fashion industry. Start by researching brands that prioritize fair labor practices, use sustainable materials, and maintain transparency in their supply chains. Websites and apps like Good On You can help you find and evaluate these brands. Look for certifications such as Fair Trade, GOTS, Global Organic Textile Standard, and B Corp, which indicate a commitment to ethical practices. When shopping, consider second-hand stores, online resale platforms, and clothing swaps to give garments a second life. Invest in quality over quantity. Choose timeless pieces that you can wear for years rather than fleeting trends. Support local artisans and small businesses that produce handmade, unique items. This not only reduces your carbon footprint, but also helps sustain traditional crafts and communities. Share your knowledge with friends and family. The more people who support ethical brands, the greater the impact we can have on the industry. Finally, remember that every purchase is a vote for the kind of world you want to live in. By choosing ethical brands, you're contributing to a more sustainable and just fashion industry. Together, we can make a difference. Let's start today. As we look towards a more sustainable future, technology plays a pivotal role in revolutionizing the fashion industry. Cut to video of a 3D printer creating fabric. From 3D printing garments to using AI for designing, the possibilities are endless. Image of a digital fabric pattern on a computer screen. Digital design tools allow for precise pattern making, reducing fabric waste significantly. Video of a drone delivering a package. Innovations in logistics like drone deliveries can decrease the carbon footprint of shipping. Video of a factory using robots for manufacturing. Automation and robotics in manufacturing ensure efficiency and can help minimize human labor exploitation. Image of a lab technician examining a new fabric. Researchers are developing new sustainable materials such as lab-grown leather and biodegradable textiles. Video of a virtual fashion show. Virtual fashion shows and augmented reality shopping experiences are transforming how we engage with fashion. Video of a consumer using a smartphone to scan a QR code on a garment tag. Blockchain technology ensures transparency in the supply chain, allowing consumers to verify the origins and ethics of their purchases. Image of a smartphone displaying an app for tracking garment life cycle. Apps that track the life cycle of clothing can help consumers make informed decisions and extend the life of their wardrobe. Video of a solar-powered factory. Renewable energy sources like solar and wind power are being integrated into fashion production processes. Video of a recycling facility processing old garments. Technology also aids in recycling and upcycling efforts, turning old clothes into new, stylish pieces. By embracing these technological advancements, the fashion industry can move towards a more ethical and sustainable future. The role of technology in fashion is not just about innovation, it's about creating a better world for everyone. As we delve deeper into the complexities of the fashion industry, education and awareness emerge as crucial components for change. Video of a classroom with students watching a documentary on fashion. Understanding the impacts of our choices helps us make more informed decisions. Image of a fashion workshop. Workshops and seminars on sustainable fashion are becoming more prevalent, empowering individuals with knowledge. Video of an influencer discussing sustainable fashion on social media. Social media influencers play a significant role in spreading awareness, reaching millions with their messages. Video of a community event focused on sustainable fashion. Community events and fashion swap meets foster a culture of sharing and sustainability. Image of an informative booklet on sustainable fashion practices. Educational resources like books and online courses provide in-depth insights into the fashion industry's environmental and social impacts. Video of a fashion designer speaking at a conference. Industry leaders and designers are also stepping up, advocating for more transparent and ethical practices. Video of a student researching sustainable fashion online. Online platforms and websites dedicated to sustainable fashion offer a wealth of information at our fingertips. Video of consumers reading labels in a store. Being aware of certifications and labels helps consumers identify genuinely ethical and sustainable brands. Video of a public awareness campaign on fashion sustainability. Public awareness campaigns are essential in highlighting the importance of sustainable practices in fashion. Video of a family discussing their clothing choices. Ultimately, education and awareness empower us to make choices that align with our values, paving the way for a more sustainable future in fashion. As we conclude our journey through the world of fashion, it's clear that the choices we make have far-reaching impacts. Video of a bustling city street with people wearing various fashion styles. From the clothes we wear to the brands we support, each decision shapes the future of the industry. Image of a landfill filled with discarded clothes. The environmental and social costs of fast fashion are undeniable, but change is possible. Video of a group of friends attending a sustainable fashion show. By supporting ethical brands and making informed choices, we can drive a shift towards sustainability. Image of a diverse group of people holding eco-friendly shopping bags. Together, our actions can create a ripple effect that transforms the fashion landscape. Video of a designer working with sustainable materials. Designers, brands, and consumers all have a role to play in this transformation. Start by choosing second-hand or sustainably made clothing. Video of a community participating in a clothing swap event. Participate in community events and clothing swaps to extend the life of your garments. Video of a person researching sustainable brands online. Educate yourself and others about the importance of sustainable fashion. Video of people signing a petition. Advocate for policy changes that promote ethical practices in the industry. Video of a vibrant, eco-friendly fashion show. Let's embrace a future where fashion is not only stylish but also sustainable and fair for all.